Well, welcome back to the Steve Robb Show. Today, we're going to have a talk. We're going to have a Let's Talk, and it's going to be all about hunting. And I'm going to mention some channels that do hunting videos, and we're going to have a little bit of a chat about hunting, whether it's ethical, and all the other things that surround hunting in general. And I'm going to voice my opinions. So I'm going to get my stuff here. I'm going to sit down. Let's have a chat. Let's have a Let's Talk. Okay, so let's get into it right now. Yes, I am a hunter, and I have a hunting camp for you guys that are new to my channel. Yes, I partake in hunting, and this is part of my playlist on Let's Talk, where I discuss various subjects. And today, it's all about hunting. So what do I think about hunting? Well, hunting season's coming up upon us soon, and I'd like to discuss the various aspects of hunting. For me, I don't think hunting is a sport. I don't think it's, I really don't even classify it as a hobby. And to me, it's not fun harvesting an animal. So, you know, that's my beliefs. But I love to go deer hunting every year. And I quite enjoy it. And the aspects of the friendships that you have when you go in the woods for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, it's just terrific. And it's a great experience. But the exact idea of harvesting an animal, no, I don't enjoy that at all. And I really don't kind of, I don't know what you would call it, but I don't celebrate the occasion of harvesting an animal in any type of way other than I harvested the animal. But I do quite enjoy going hunting. Now, is hunting ethical? And that's something that is very hard to say yes or no on, because there's a lot of people out there that do not agree with harvesting animals. They don't agree with anything like that. And that's fine. I mean, everybody has a difference in opinion, and I'm not here to tell anybody what they do. Now, for me, I've been doing this since I was 15 years old, and to me, I think it's more of a way of life. It depends how you were raised when you were younger, whether you've been exposed to it or not. And I'll use an example here of, I was watching a friend of mine's video. This had to be a long time ago. And he was, I believe he was in I'm not too sure where, but he was in Carolina somewhere. And he was deer hunting. And he harvested an animal. And I was reading the comments down below. And one fella said, I've been hunting all my life. And at this age in my life, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't bring myself to harvest one more animal. And you know, you got to think, you know, like some people, yes, I know people have got into hunting and later on in the years, you know, have decided not to partake in it. And myself, I'm thinking maybe that fella might have been doing hunting as some kind of a sport or a hobby, or maybe something he really didn't want to do, but he did it because, you know, like smoking. A lot of people smoke, you know, just it's like a fashionable kind of thing. But I really don't accept hunting being fashionable. You know, it's something either you want to do or you don't want to do, and the ethics of doing it is one thing. And yeah, there was some comments that were a little harsh on the fella, and I don't believe that they're warranted. Yeah, there's some people that get very upset if you say you don't like hunting, and some people get very upset if you do like hunting. So there is no happy medium at all there. Now, I ran across this one occasion. I'll tell you a true story about, had to be 20 years ago. And I'm up at my friend's hunting camp, and we go into town. And you know, I have my hunting gear on and everything else, and I get stopped by this woman, and she goes, you know, you guys are disgusting going out in the woods and going deer hunting and this kind of stuff, right? At the time, it was quite popular for like bashing hunters at the time. Like, I mean, it's different now, but back then, you know, up here, yeah, there was quite a backlash at one time. Of course, we got the media in there, right? Like, that's their agenda. So, I says to her, I says, like, usually a lot of people will say, well, do you eat meat and do you do this? And I'm not into that kind of stuff, right? And all I said to her was, what gives you the right to tell a native person they can hunt or they can trap? And right away she stopped right there. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were native. Yeah, no problem, you know, and that kind of stuff. And I said to her, hold it a second, I'm not native. But what makes you think that just because I said I was native, that it's okay now? Well, and she started going off about how native have rights and all this kind of stuff. And I thought to myself, you know what? I wish our government would realize natives have rights, because this person and a lot of people, they will give you that answer consistently. That if you're a non-native, you're in a whole different ball game than if you are a native. And I'm saying, well, I wish we had some of them native rights as far as the opinions are concerned. And I wish the First Nations people had the rights that they were promised. And that's for a whole different story. But, okay, so that's kind of interesting how that plays. And, you know, I've seen that before, you know, in the trapping, where they'll say that natives are preferred because, you know, it's part of their ancestry and history. And hunting as well. And you know what? Non-natives have the same history. Maybe not just as long, especially in Canada. But yeah, and for me, I think I'd like to have everybody have the same rights and not just pick and choose who has rights and who doesn't have rights. Because to me, that's for another day and another story. But no, the rights are not equal. So, okay. I wonder how many of you people watch hunting vids. I don't know how many do and how many don't. I know a lot of people on YouTube that make some hunting vids. I said I would mention some people. And these, I'm just going to mention some people off the top of my head that I have seen doing hunting vids where they actually harvest an animal. So far, I've never harvested one, you know, since I've been on YouTube. But we've got Wallace Vivian. He's down in Newfoundland. And he does a lot of moose hunting. And Drive Shaft Drew is in Manitoba. He does deer hunting, him and his son Curtis. And I tell you what, Curtis is probably the best shot I've ever seen, bar none, on YouTube. Who else we got? Darren Sharon, he's done some deer hunting vids. Carolina Chris. I'm not too sure if he's in East Carolina or West Carolina, but he does deer hunting vids. ND Outdoors. He does some deer hunting vids. And he's right big into catfishing. Like this kind of catfishing that he does, I've never seen before. I wish he would do some vids on it. But I have no idea where this MD Outdoors Andy is. If I was going to guess one state where he's from, just by his accent, Kentucky. It has to be Kentucky. Calvin's Corner 72. I've seen him go deer hunting with his son. And that was just a terrific vid there last year. He's in Georgia. And I believe Chaos Garage. Chaos Garage, he goes deer hunting too, and he's in Georgia as well. Now there may be more, I don't know. I can't put everybody in there, and I can't think of everybody. It's not easy when you're this old. But I'll put some links down below to every one of them channels. If you are a hunter and you'd like to see some of these people that do deer hunting or rabbit hunting or whatever, right? And that's just some of the people that I know that I follow on YouTube. I know there's a lot more. And they quite enjoy it. So, how many of you hunt? That's the question I'd like to know. How many of you actually hunt? And I'd love to hear your opinions whether you think hunting is ethical or not. I know I do have a couple of my friends on YouTube that really don't like the harvesting of animals. And I understand that completely. And you have to respect their opinion. Because you know what? if the world would respect everybody else's opinion, this place would be a lot better planet. I'll tell you that right now. So, subscribe to this channel if you like. It's optional. And come back again, guys. Let's have another talk. Let's have a let's talk. And let's have some more fun. Cheers, guys.